In 1776, American colonists declared their independence from England. In 1964, the British invaded again. After 250 years, it's come full circle.
Hello?
The British are coming!
I'll be right over. Hi, this is Gayle from BERNINA of NAperville, and yes, indeed, the British are coming. And one of them is already here. The other one is coming August 12th, and I must say, they're tall, dark, and handsome, if you know what I mean. We'll get to that in just a minute, okay? But in the meantime, we are gonna have a look at our Liberty 580 edition Bernina. So this is a collaboration between Liberty of London and Bernina. Now, our friends at Bernina International have made a fantastic video explaining all about how this fantastic collaboration came to be.
Founded in 1893 by Carl Friedrich Gigav, Bernina released its first household sewing machine in 1932. Founded in 1875 by Arthur Lazenby Liberty, Liberty laid plans for a London emporium where it began producing fabrics in the late 19th century. Two visionary heritage brands united through their creative synergy.
Liberty and Bernina is such an amazing collaboration. So it's so excited to see them together in this one amazing machine. I'm super excited about the new Bernina 580 Liberty edition. The Bernina 580 has so many great features. One of my favourites is that it has the wide throat for the quilting. It comes with the edge stitch foot 10 and the embroidery open foot 20D. It comes with the 1/4 inch quilting foots, which is so great for lining up your quilting so you know where you're stitching.
I think Liberty fabrics are just really beautiful. They're wonderfully designed, the colours are always beautiful, and the quality is always amazing. And you know if you're going to make a dress or a garment out of Liberty fabric, it's going to work out beautifully, it's going to hang nicely, and it's going to look really good. So I really like the decorative stitches on the 495 Liberty edition. And there's a great variety of them. They're 3 feet, and I think they're really good additions because they really set you up so you can just get started. We've got the 1/4 inch patchwork foot 37, so that's perfect when I'm doing my 1/4 inch seams. We've got the edge stitch foot, which is great. So if you're doing some top stitching or you want to be really precise, then the edge stitch foot has a great guide, so that keeps everything lined up, so that's fab. One of my favourite is the open embroidery foot, so you can really see where the needle's going. They're just really fab additional feet, I think they're great.
I love that the new Bernina 580 comes preloaded with the Liberty embroidery designs. They're going to be such a beautiful addition to quilts. I like to use a lot of white in my quilts to get contrast with the Liberty fabric, so it's going to be lovely to go round squares with those deco stitches. What an amazing collaboration between my two favourite brands.
I think it's going to be fantastic to use, and it's also going to be beautiful to look at.
All right, so now that we're in the mood, we're gonna open our 580 Liberty edition that's just here. This is what I pulled out of my car this morning. Now, there is another one, as you saw in the video, the 495. We don't have that one just yet, so we're gonna focus on simply the Bernina 580. Now, this machine has an embroidery module. It has got a matching suitcase system, and it has some extra feet. So let's dig in and see all of the cool things that are in here. So first of all, I have to apologize if you hear slurping and grunting. We're not open yet, and Bonaparte is having his morning lick. So, you know, we're just gonna let him be. All right, so here is the box. Now, the box is branded and it has the beautiful little delicate flowers on it. So that's, you know, the minute that we plop this box home, we know exactly what we have, right? And so let's open it up. Ooh la la, we've got this gorgeous floral design around our welcome letter. This is certainly something that I want to keep, if for anything, the QR code so we can register our machines, right? So now some of these things are not special to this model. Of course, there's the slide-on table. This is going to come with any 5 Series machine, well, except the embroidery only one. We've got our knee lever. We've got the seam guide that goes on the slide-on table. I say this every time. It's not an ice scraper, it's a seam guide. It adds a little wall for extra seam allowance, extra help for your 1/4-inch seams, making flounce pillows, things like that. Then we have our manual. Now, I bet the manual is also branded wonderfully. So, of course, we have our warranty registration reminder. Don't forget, if you register your machine, you get $5 off. You have a purchase of a foot, and then a little reminder that there is software available that you can add with this that goes on your computer. And then we've got an accessories catalog. You know, basically, I call this a shopping list right here. Then, look at this. This is what we're gonna be in for inside the machine. It's just so pretty. I love it so much. In fact, this may be my very most favorite special edition ever. It's just, I just love all things British. I don't know when this started. Maybe somewhere in 1984 or earlier. Anyway, okay, I digress. So now with every Bernina, we have our bobbins and our oil and our spool caps and our foam pads and things like that. We've got our power cord. We've got our accessories case. Now, here's the cool thing about the Bernina 5 series is that the accessory cases are magnetic and affix onto the back of the machine so that when you carry it around, you're not looking for an awkward place to put this accessory box. And then you'll also see that there's some extra foot racks in here, and then all of our accessories and feet that are in this bag here and in our toolkit here can fit into our accessory box. You'll see it loaded when I put it on the table. A little extra package of thread, some extra needles. And then look at this dust cover. Now, you know, normally I don't open these, but I just can't help myself because this is what the fabric looks like. And I think I mentioned this, and in case I didn't mention it, we are getting all of this Liberty collection. We're getting enough to make a few kits. So if you want to make the kit that you see in all of the promotional information, then we are going to have your back with that, right? And we are also going to be doing some little make and takes where we make a super cute little tea bag shaped needle minder and pin minder. I think that's really cute. And then we have some other ideas of stuff we're gonna do. But that's the dust cover. Don't forget that buried deep down here in the styrofoam is the automatic buttonhole foot, number 3A. And then we've got our machine. I mean, this is really why you're here and why you're watching, right? Oh, you just wanted to see the feet? Okay, I'll stop. All right, so now it's a good thing that I ate my Wheaties this morning because these, even though this isn't as heavy as that 790 Ultra, it's nothing to, you know, it's nothing to fling around the room, if you know what I mean. Okay, so let's have a look at it. Beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the table along with the embroidery module, and then before we sew on it, I'm gonna show you the luggage. Okay, so let's open the embroidery module case, which is what I've got here on top. All right, isn't it cool? So this is modeled after the same suitcase system that you know and love for your Bernina 5 series. The only difference is it is the pretty colors and the pretty webbing and everything like that. Plus it's got the moniker there, Bernina by Liberty. And so you've got lots of places to hide things and store things and make sure that everything is secure when you travel around with this, because you know this machine is just the right size to take to retreats for bragging rights so that all your friends are jealous because you've got something so beautiful. Okay, so now we have the meat and potatoes of our luggage. So this is the bottom. This is what the machine goes in. And don't forget, for that Bernina 495 Liberty edition, it's a different print on the machine, so the suitcase is going to be a different print as well. Beautiful, right? All right, whoops, oh my goodness. Okay, so here is this one. Now this one doesn't have the 360 wheels on it, but that's okay. And then we've got all these different pockets in here. We can load from the front as well because our zippers pull down like that. We've got added protection in here. And then we have extra storage in the front and extra storage on the sides. Okay, so with our little box here loaded, you can see all the goodies in here, like our bobbins and our sample thread, an overcast foot to save the raw edges, our embroidery number 26 L foot, and then we have all of the D feet mean dual feed. So we've got a standard sewing foot for dual feed, a zipper foot for dual feed, that edge stitch foot, number 10D. Now this one is a special one that comes with just the Liberty edition Bernina 580. And then we've got our open toe foot, and this is really nice for those decorative stitches, which I can't wait to try out. So that's what I'm going to try. And then we also have our patchwork foot number 97D, and in our little drawer there's a screw-on seam guide that goes onto the free arm with that. So you know, anytime you buy a machine from us, we give you classes to learn how to use the machine and everything like that. So you know what, this isn't going to be that kind of lesson. Now you'll notice that I have the slide-on table on and the embroidery module on, just because I wanted to show you like the whole pretty package. Now one thing about this embroidery module, it's special. The special thing about it is that the Bernina logo is silver to match the silver of the logo on the machine here. That's so we know that this module is a special edition that's paired with this machine. But otherwise, it's the same embroidery module for any of our 5 series machines. Especially, take note, it is also the SDT, the Smart Drive Technology system that makes your machine embroider a little bit faster. So we also have our large hoop and the medium hoop that comes with this, but you know what? These machines love to play with the small clamp hoop and the midi hoop. There's even a mega hoop that is the same width as our large hoop here, but it's 15 inches long if you want to do borders and things like that. But what it comes with are these two right here. Now, one of the cool things about a Bernina is that we can sew with our embroidery module attached. So I'm just going to hop on over to our sewing side. And I'm going to look through these decorative stitches. And you can see we've got our little tulips, and those are kind of our standard stitches. But I can expand out our stitches as well so I can see more at one time. Then also in this we have other categories. There's cross stitch, satin, heirloom, geometrics, novelty, tassels, other kind of fun stitches here, some nature elements and things like that. But then this is the one we want to pay attention to right here, this folder. These are the Liberty stitches, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 29, 30, 30. There's 32 of them on this machine, and I swear I want to try every single one of them out. But Amy was at the vendor mall at BU, and she made this cute little tea caddy or needle minder that looks like a tea bag. I think it's cute. And she used a couple different stitches there. But you know what? I can't stand it. I got to try them myself. So hang on, I'm going to get some fabric and some fun thread. Okay, so here's the fun part. This is only half of the stitches that this machine has. I just ran out of fabric here, but super duper cute. So I am sure you will enjoy coming up with all kinds of things to make from these stitches. This one sticks out to me in particular, and I could see combining some of these stitches together to make combination stitches and stuff. So if you have any ideas for what you would want to do with this, hey, drop them down in the comments. Now, we talked about the embroidery that, you know, you saw the beautiful quilt that was made at Liberty. We're like, I think I'm going to mention this a million times to you, but we are putting kits together for that, and it's just going to take me a hot minute to make it. So look for something like that coming this fall. But these designs are pretty cool. And today I want to focus on a specific type of design that's on this machine. And it's an actual pocket that's done in the hoop, and you can see it right there. But I want to actually do one from a different folder. Let's see here. I don't have these memorized where they are yet. So I think it's on here. There we go. So I'm going to make this one, mostly because there's not as many stitching times, so I won't bore you with hours and hours of the machine running, right? All right, so let's go over to the drawing board, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make this pocket, but then what I'm actually going to put it on. Okay, so you're probably wondering why you're looking at this sweater. Well, this is just a cute little cardigan that I picked up that I'm going to upcycle because it's cute and everything, but there is a really cute pocket design loaded on the Liberty 580, and I am going to put it just here where these little pockets are. So I'm going to make two, and I'm going to mirror one, and I also reduced it just a little bit. So first things first is it's going to be a hot minute because I'm going to take off this pocket so that I can put my other pockets here, and then we'll go over to the machine and I'll show you what we're doing. So when you bring in one of these pockets into the hoop from the machine, it recommends that you use the small clamp hoop, which is what you see here. And I made my pocket on the large embroidery hoop that comes with your machine. Now, yes, I'm showing you something that doesn't come with the 580 Liberty Edition. However, anytime you buy a machine from us, we give you 25% off at the time of pickup of the machine. So maybe that's something you can have your eye on. So this still needs to be top stitched down onto my sweater, but I have to tell you, I had to be extra careful to really hoop tightly in the large oval hoop here. So what I'm going to do is use this small clamp hoop, and I've got my hoop scoop here. So it's got the clamp remover on one end, and then this is a finger protector for the magnetic hoops on the other. I'm going to show you how to use that in a different video when we use that giant magnet hoop. But for right now, we're just going to use this to pop our clamps out. Okay. Now, I've also pre-shrunk my poly mesh stabilizer. That's also really important because that way when we go to press our pocket, we don't get any additional puckers. And you simply just pre-shrink the stabilizer by steaming it. You can kind of see it shrink up a little bit when you do it, but by doing that, then when you go to press the pocket, because we are going to be turning something inside out, you're not going to have nearly the puckers. In fact, I didn't have any puckers at all. Okay, so over at the machine, I've got this light pink with fusible backing ironed towards the back. We've got this in here still, and then we have another piece for our lining and a 3-inch by 5-inch strip for our little pocket band. let's look at our design here. So what I picked is this pocket, number 20. And when I brought it into the machine, I did a few things to it. First, I reduced it so that it would be 4.2 wide by 4.8 inches tall. It's a little bit larger when it comes in, but it didn't fit my sweater. So I did that, and the enlarging tools are really easy. It's right here. Then what I need to do now is this is going to be my right pocket, so I want a left pocket. So I'm simply going to take this and I'm going to mirror it so it flips it. And then I have made a few changes to the thread colors to match more of the fabric that I'm using here and matching the little flowers. So I've got this little lilac lavender kind of pink. I've got this sagey green. I've got a spring green, and I've got a darker sage green here. So these are the things that I'm going to be using, in addition to the very light pink Aurifil cotton thread that's in my machine for stitching and top stitching my pocket pieces. So the first thing that we're doing is simply a placement stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and send this over. And now in my machine here, I've got my light pink thread threaded through my needle, and I'm simply going to stitch an outline stitch, and this is where I'm going to put my interfaced pink fabric. Once that stitch is out, I'm going to place interfacing side down, covering that placement stitch completely. And now this is going to sew the pink fabric to the stabilizer. Okay, so now this stitch is going to go across here, and it's kind of telling me where I'm going to place the little band of my pocket. And now I'm going to stop it just here because it wants to kind of go over again. But what I'm going to do is lay this down so that it's kind of over that line by 1/4 of an inch. We've got plenty of fabric here, so I'm just going to lay that down like this, and now I'm going to finish this color. And now I'm going to flip this, finger press it, and now it's going to do some top stitching for me. Okay, so now it's time to change our thread, and this time we're going to go for this spring green color.
So after all of the parts of the flower stitch out, it's time to put the non-interfaced 5" by 5.5" piece on top of this embroidered piece. Now it's going to stitch an outline but leave an opening at the bottom for turning.
Okay, so it's all stitched out now, and I'm just going to use my rotary cutter to trim it some of the way. It's just easier for me to cut it like this sometimes. All right, then once I get it like this, I want to trim my corners. And then we're going to cut these little corners here because this is the little hole that we're going to turn it inside out from. Okay. And now just squeeze it through the hole. Okay. So then once we poke all of our corners and get everything nice and flat, we're going to press it like this one. So now that I've pressed our pocket and we've removed the other pockets from the sweater, I'm going to make sure that I align this. It's about a ½ inch from where this band is here and about a1/4 inch above the ribbing here. So I'm gonna lay that just so, and I'm gonna pin, and we're gonna use our number 10D foot to sew this into position, because we can use that guide to get a perfect seam, and then we'll move the needle position. It'll be awesome. All right, so the Bernina 580 Liberty Edition isn't the only British invasion that's hitting our store. I'm so excited to bring Paul Ashworth here. Now, I have to tell you, I have known Paul since his very first day at Bernina because he used to be my boss when I was a district sales manager. So we have a lot to talk about. So I'm going to be interviewing him for a little session on our YouTube channel, but you guys are invited to interview him on August 12th, that's a Wednesday, from 10 to 12:30. So basically, we're calling it Spill the Tea with Paul Ashworth. And he is, for real, a legitimate Brit. Born, I don't know exactly where he was born. He is from Manchester, I think. He's really, really tall, so it's going to be really hard to get the camera angles right if I talk to him because he legit is about 24 inches taller than I am. But it's more than just that. I mean, he's a really fun guy. He used to work in the spirits industry. He knows a lot about wine and cognac and things like that. And yeah, you know, I don't even want to make it all about sewing machines because, you know, it's sometimes fun to see someone's good-natured, you know, side. But anyway, I am sure that you all would love to ask him a bunch of questions because you ask me the questions and I can't answer them because I, unfortunately, do not run Bernina of America, but Paul does. So you can talk to him on August 12th. All right, that's all I've got for now. I've got another video to make and it's going to be on our giant magnetic hoop. And you can see that I made a little Union Jack in the background here on that. So if you're curious about how big you can make a design in that hoop, this Union Jack is exactly 12 inches by 16.1 inches. And notice, no rounded corners on that baby either, right? Okay, so, and then, I'm really rambling right now, but there's just so much to tell you. And then finally, I'm gonna do another video on our Bernina and then I'm going to do another video coming out, another unboxing video. Can't get enough of those, can you? And it's going to be on our Bernette 59. You all love that one. It's got the capability to use your tablet to like draw your puppy dog's paw and then embroider it onto a little, you know, bandana for them. So, all right, how about I stop talking and let you guys get back to whatever you were doing before I interrupted you? All right, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out some of our other videos on our Bernina of Naperville YouTube channel. It's easy to find. It's youtube.com/Bernina of Naperville, and there you can like, comment, and subscribe. Happy sewing. Pinkies up. What else do the Brits say?
Do they say pinkies up?
Yeah, that's how you drink your tea. Yeah, pip, 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 panache. Isn't that what Robin Leach said? Pip, pip, panache. Strawberry wishes chip, and caviar dreams.
Chip, chip, cheerio.
I was going to practice a British accent for this video. I thought it would be like, I am so into England, I have a British accent now, and then that just would have been embarrassing.